So I woke up feeling like shit. Could tell I don't look too great. Tonsils are feeling slightly swollen. But yeah, working on that track is going well. Just processing it, adding some reverb, EQing out stuff that's not needed, trying some limiter stuff. One thing I took away from that Wild Crow thing is he has a kind of stop clock of how many hours he spends in the studio each week, and I keep forgetting to implement that, and I think it'd be quite a cool thing just to keep track on, keep an eye on. So for the rest of the day I'm just going to be working on this, trying to get it all done, sorted, sounding good, all processed, ready for a mix down, or a proper mix down. Yeah, I like this track, it sounds good, it's coming together nicely, fairly easy. It's pretty simple to be processing, to be mixing, nothing too major going on. There's only a few leads, it's all one bass line, maybe add a separate sub to that. Other than that, it should be a fairly easy mix. So that time lapse got cut short, but yeah, I've been working on this track pretty much the whole afternoon. I've EQ'd, I've processed, I've added reverbs, I've added delays, I've pretty much mixed, I've pretty much mastered, and I'm so fucking happy with this track. So crazy how quickly this one came together, just how effortlessly it was, how happy I am with the overall sound of it. Days like this when you're a producer or trying to get into producer just feels like a massive victory, feels like a huge win. And it kind of makes that dream seem so much brighter in your mind. It takes away so many doubts you might be having. So perseverance is the key, or it is at least for me. Just going headfirst into all this stuff, just to keep pushing, keep grinding against everything else that's screaming at you in your life to say, give up, stop. It's the days like this that you go, nah, this is mine for the taking. So I'm so ready to send this demo out, ready to get some feedback on it. I might send it to my old music college tutor, see what he says about it, because he's a hardstyle producer, so I'm sure he'll have some changes I can obviously make to it, but for me this is ridiculously good sounding, like, so happy with it. So I just played that track in the car and I worked out what's needed now is EQing, mid-side EQing and all that stuff. So I think the rest of tonight and tomorrow is just going to be spent learning mid-side EQ, what's needed with it, how to do it best, are there any tricks, should you be doing it on master or should you be doing it on individual channels. But yeah, kick and bass is sorted, so now mid-side EQ. No, I'd find another bit, and here it is, one after another, one sorted, and happy with it. The next one comes in, and yeah, ready to get this one sorted. So it's another day, I'm in my studio, it's time to start mixing again. I'm gonna bounce down everything into audio from Ableton, chuck it into Logic, because Logic will let me chuck in reference tracks and Ableton Live at the moment, so I think mixing alongside a reference track is going to make life so much easier. Hopefully I'll be able to get this mixed today, that's the plan. I know that'd be good to get this mix done, move on to something else, maybe move on to the other track, mix that as well. Yeah, and we'll see if working in Logic will help, because then I can use reference tracks, and using a reference track is probably best. Not sure why Ableton won't let me chuck in a reference track. It's been a bit funny. Every time I open it up it says live unexpectedly quit, even though it didn't quit. So there's something buggy in it. I don't want to upgrade because that's money. So yeah, bounce it all down, chuck it into Logic. I know Logic will accept MP3s, accept WAV, so mix and master in there. But let's go. So I was thinking about mixing, and I was thinking I won't be able to make 128 after going up to 155, or else it's just going to sound weird. It's going to sound like it's in slow motion. So I started playing around for a bit, trying to produce, and ended up with a 155 side trance track. So that's been cool, it's been fun to work on. It's pretty simple, but yeah, just good to piss around, play around, make something different, make something unique. But yeah, so that's sketched out, that's pretty much done. I don't want to add too much to it, it was more just I wanted to produce something, I wanted to make something, so sat down, made something, sounds good, or sounds reasonably good for spending an hour on it, if that. So yeah, that's cool, pretty simple, was just fun to make, just to mess around with, just to come up with an odd idea, just want to smash out quickly, want to have in the bank that I can either pick up some other time, but it's not one I like it, it's cool, it'd be better to work on the arrangement, get it to be a little bit more trancey, bring it, yeah, a bit more endemic at parts, work on the arrangement, but yeah, good, happy with it. So I just bounced down all those stems, they're all in, they're all arranged, they're all coloured, they're all named, they're all marked. Yeah, ready to go find some reference tracks, not quite sure who I'm going to go for, I think I'll get a variety of side trance, Melbourne bounce, hardstyle, maybe some big rooms, I got big room kick in there. yeah, some progressive house for the leads. So I tried mixing in Logic, but I can't stand it. Like, everything just sounds slightly different in there. Obviously the way they process that audio is going to be slightly different, and it was weird just to hear the change, and the workflow in it I really don't like. I like Ableton, that's the reason I switched from Logic to Ableton. Yeah, it would have been nice to be able to have reference tracks, but just no, I can't work in Logic. So I'm back working Ableton. I just cleaned up the mix a little bit, sounding better than it did. But you know what? It's pretty darn good mix, to be fair. Yeah, there's imperfections in it. Yeah, there's that. I need to make sure it's playing well on my car stereo. But really, it's close, it's good. It's me just being too perfectiony over it. As in, it's all marginal gains from here, which aren't huge gains. Yeah, they'll stack up. But for what it's worth, and the time and effort that goes into it, I think leaving it now for a while where I'm happy with it, to really rest it for a week or so will be good, then come back to it, and I'm sure then it will just be okay, this, that needs doing, and then it will be done. So that's cool. I'll check it on my car at some point, see how that goes. If it's horrendous on there, then I know I've got some serious work to do. But on my speakers in my studio, on my headphones, it's sounding good. It sounds fairly good in mono. So I think we should be alright. Regardless, I'll chuck it in at the end of the episode in this week's Road to Revealed. And yeah, be good to promo it, good to hear it come through another audio source rather than Ableton, because sometimes stuff sounds slightly different when you bounce it out. For a track that I thought was going to be a quick this, all done, sorted. Yeah, I didn't expect this, but it is what it is. And I think if I accept that my tracks aren't always going to be perfect, especially for the time being, the more tracks I can make and actually work on in the mastering and the mixing, rather than just getting stuck on single tracks, will probably benefit me over time. So I might go with that strategy, and then if stuff needs a rework down the line, it can always be reworked, but just to be putting stuff out that's sounding 80 to 90% to where I'd like it to, it's probably needed so I could make forward steps in what I'm trying to do.